Today on the Rockbridge Report, we give you the latest on White House Communications Director Hope Hicks' resignation and how this affects the president's inner circle. Then, you might want to head out to Restaurant Week before they run out of discounts. We will tell you more about the programming for this weekend. Also, with the beginning of March, temperatures are finally starting to rise. Aspen will tell us what the weather will look like in the coming days. And you won't believe what scavenger hunt madness is taking over the Rockbridge County community. All that and more coming up next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Catherine Young.
And I'm Faith Isbell.
Breaking news from the AP. President Donald Trump just declared that he will impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. This will dramatically raise the possibility of a trade showdown with China and other key trading partners. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is currently down by more than 500 points, or about 2%. The decision also disappointed Republican lawmakers who warned that it would hurt a range of industries. Trump told executives he would levy penalties of 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum imports. It is not immediately clear if the tariffs would exempt certain trading partners.
Hope Hicks resigned as White House Communications Director yesterday following her claim that she sometimes tells white lies for the president. Hicks's sudden departure comes at a particularly volatile time for the White House as the Mueller investigation closes in on Trump's inner circle. CNN's Abby Phillip reports.
President Trump growing increasingly isolated after the abrupt resignation of one of his closest advisors, White House Communications Director Hope Hicks. Hicks is the fourth in that post to step down since Mr. Trump took office a year ago.
Hope was one of the people he really trusted. So with her leaving, there's only a handful left, and he's going to feel like he's on an island.
The White House attempting to downplay the shocking announcement, insisting that Hicks has been thinking about leaving for weeks. But Hicks's departure came one day after she testified before a House committee as part of their Russia probe, conceding that at times she's told white lies for President Trump. A source tells CNN's Aaron Burnett that this admission upset the president, who berated Hicks after her nearly 9 hours of testimony. A former Trump campaign aide telling CNN that special counsel Robert Mueller's team has been inquiring about Hicks's remarks to the New York Times shortly after the election, denying any contact between the campaign and Russian officials, a statement that has proven to be false. Only a handful of President Trump's original inner circle are now left in the White House.
Former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci, who served for 11 days, defended Hicks.
Tell me the person that hasn't told a white lie. I'll identify that person as the biggest liar in the room. And so here's what happens in Washington that I absolutely can't stand. She's in a closed-door session. They're asking her stuff. It's under oath. You know how important that is. So do I. The integrity of every sentence, every syllable. They asked her if she told any white lies. She said yes, probably. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida are returning to class for the second day. They still reflect on the tragedy, but are hopeful that they will be able to spark some change in the future. Allison Camarota reports.
How'd it go in there today?
It was really good, really calm, really quiet, really laid back today.
You thought they handled it well for you guys?
I think so. They're helping us heal. And there was a lot of tears, there was a lot of pain, but they're helping us heal.
Lots of counseling, and it was nice to be with everybody again. And the quicker we get back into the things, the better. And the therapy dogs helped a lot. That was nice. And the teachers are just being really supportive and helpful, and all the students. And we're just coming back together as a family again.
It was hard walking into my classrooms again and seeing my teachers and my friends, and also walking into my classroom where I lost my friend and just seeing her desk there empty and knowing that she'll never be back.
How will you cope with that?
I'll just have to, distract myself and try to move on and know that she would want me to live my life, live a happy life, and I know that she's in a better place now.
Ever since everything happened, Joaquin, obviously, he had bleached blonde hair. And so I just looked myself in the mirror and I'm just like, I kind of want to do something. I kind of want to make a change,
As the gun control debate continues in Tallahassee and Washington, some South Florida mayors are asking, can they do something on their own? The mayor of Coral Springs is pushing loudly for change tonight. Amber Diaz reports.
Mayor Skip Campbell spoke up at Wednesday's commissioners' meeting, saddened that legislature won't move forward to ban assault weapons.
Every mayor, and there's lots of them, I don't have the exact number, all feel that this is the time to do something.
He's now leading an effort with other state mayors to get an amendment to the state's constitution to ban assault weapons. But a 1987 law was created to limit elected officials' ability to make their own gun policies, followed by another law in 2011 that fines elected officials and even removes them from office if they try. Instead of making a move as an elected official, he says he's speaking out as a concerned citizen.
The city of Coral Springs is not doing anything individually. This is being done by a number of mayors as individual citizens of the state of Florida and the United States of America. Our kids need to be protected.
But the mayor of Coral Gables is taking one for the city, challenging the 2011 law by finding ways to ban assault weapons. The city attorney advised him against it, and this was his response.
Remember Rosa Parks that sat in the front of the bus? Remember Martin Luther King with civil disobedience? We want to challenge the system to stop the murder of our children.
Mayor Campbell says he wants to leave the decision in the hands of voters. While it's too late to get it on this year's ballot, he's going to try for 2020.
City Commissioner Dan Daly also introduced an ordinance that would limit the sale and transfer of large-capacity gun magazines in the city of Coral Springs. This too goes against the 2011 law.
Kroger, America's largest grocery chain, says it will raise the minimum purchase age for guns and ammunition to 21. The grocery stores themselves don't sell guns, but the company does sell weapons and ammunition at 46 Fred Meyer stores in 4 western states. Kroger is the third major retailer in 2 days to impose new age restrictions.
Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart both announced age limit restrictions Wednesday. The changes come in the wake of the school shooting in Parkland, Florida last month.
In a statement, Kroger cited the need for, quote, responsible gun retailers to take action.
In West Virginia, the school issue is not related to guns, but related to pay. Public school teachers will return to work tomorrow after their statewide walkout. Their 5% raise ends a 4-day strike over low pay and rising insurance costs. They're not alone in their fight for higher salaries. In Arizona, earnings of elementary school teachers are nearly the lowest in the country when adjusted for the cost of living. Pay averages around $42,000. That's about $13,000 less than the national average. In West Virginia, it took a promised raise from the governor to end the 4-day strike. But in Arizona, the state superintendent is hoping to increase the sales tax to give teachers there a raise. When we come back, we'll give you the latest on the new events that the Virginia Horse Center has scheduled for their biggest year in recent history. And later, we will tell you why school bus drivers' training time might decrease by almost 6 times.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Lexington restaurants are offering sales and special menu items during this year's Winter Restaurant Week. Abigail Somerville reports.
Main Street Lexington holds 2 restaurant weeks per year, and the Winter Restaurant Week is now serving. Stephanie Wilkinson, Executive Director of Main Street Lexington, said the week allows restaurants to experiment with new ideas while bringing in more customers.
Gets people to kind of come out, maybe try something they haven't tried before.
Judy Kane, owner of Bistro, agrees the week of deals and specials provides a bump in customers for participating restaurants during an otherwise slow time of year.
To try and get people out, to bring them out during the winter gloomy period and see what we have to offer in downtown.
Bistro and 8 other restaurants are offering a 3-course for $30 deal. Kane said Bistro is also experimenting with some special dishes.
Last year we did an ethnic lunch special that actually worked out really well. That brought people in. So we're going to continue that this year, featuring a Vietnamese lunch special and a Moroccan dinner special.
Stacy Stevens, owner of Brew Ridge Taps, is using Restaurant Week to attract more local customers.
Our primary focus are local folks with this particular campaign. We would love to be able to capture and reach any number of the local the force that works downtown.
Stevens said that it can get hectic in the kitchen during Restaurant Week.
We have to put on our game faces. So we call it prepare, pray, and put on your game face. That's the way we do it.
Restaurant owners said they try to stay engaged with Main Street Lexington events.
We think that Main Street Lexington is just another avenue of folks who are interested in promoting what's special about Lexington, and we think there's a lot special. We think we're part of it.
The last day of Winter Restaurant Week is this Sunday. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Abigail Somerville.
Here are some of the businesses offering promotions for Lexington Restaurant Week, including downtown Lexington mainstays like Palms and Southern Inn. You can find a complete list of deals offered by each restaurant at mainstreetlexington.org. The next Restaurant Week for 2018 will be held this summer in mid-July.
Aspen, I am loving this warm weather, but I am not loving this rain. Is there an end in sight?
Yeah, so this weekend's supposed to be gorgeous, and you can put those rain boots up for a little bit. So let's go take a look.
Finally.
Here we see Maury River Middle School. You can see that we have quite overcast skies, no real sun in sight. Now we have our weather almanac. We have a high of 54 and a low of 36. And a barometric pressure of 29.67 with wind speeds around 5 miles per hour and a 90% humidity. Here you can see our regional conditions, and you can see that in Stanton and in Lynchburg we have 52 degrees, in Lexington and Buena Vista we have 51 degrees, Charlottesville is the warmest with 54 degrees, Covington is definitely coldest with 48 degrees, and Roanoke with 52 degrees. Here we have our radar report where we can see that cloudy skies are covering most of Virginia. And now we have our 5-day forecast. And like I was saying earlier, you can see that we've got sunny skies up until Tuesday. Friday we start off with a high of 47 and a low of 28. Saturday we have a high of 50 and a low of 25. Sunday a high of 53 and a low of 28. Monday, warmer still with a high of 55 and a low of 33. And Tuesday, it drops just a bit with a high of 51 and a low of 32 with slight showers. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aspen. The Virginia Horse Center is finding creative ways to keep revenue flowing during the normally slow winter months. The center plans to use the money to help pay off the loan that was used to buy the facility from the Commonwealth of Virginia. Ellie Cosgrove tells us about some of the new horse shows and other sporting events that the center will host in the coming weeks.
No winter blues this year for the Virginia Horse Center. Chief Operating Officer Leanne Claywell says there are more events already this year than in recent history.
I think this is going to be our biggest year yet.
The facility added new horse shows and several non-equestrian events in 2018.
At the very beginning of the year, right after the year started, we had a softball clinic, we had a wrestling tournament, which was great because we had a little bit of revenue in a month that we didn't usually have a lot. and the softball clinic. People came from all over the country for that.
For years, the Horse Center has relied on Star City canine agility events, which bring in competitors from several states to generate revenue for the slow winter months.
That time of year when it's a little bit harder for the Horse Center to bring all the horse events, big horse events in, they open up the Horse Center to the dogs.
The Virginia Horse Center is working to pay off a U.S. Department of Agriculture loan that it used to buy the facility from the Commonwealth of Virginia in 2014. The Horse Center CEO, John Nicholson, said it will take another 29 years to pay off the loan through a 3% tax on local lodging.
Paying that loan doesn't come out of the operations of the Horse Center. It comes as a part of the tax on people who come here to enjoy Rockbridge County in the hotel rooms.
A busy winter schedule means more lodging tax revenue that will ultimately go towards loan payments, says local tourism director Gene Clark.
All those times that we bring more folks to the community, it's good for all of our businesses and especially the Virginia Horse Center, because the more lodging tax we bring in, the greater revenues they have to work with as well.
The Horse Center anticipates most of these events to return next year, making 2019 just as profitable. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Ellie Cosgrove.
The venue will kick off its spring season with the annual Spring Welcome Horse Show this weekend. Next, we'll tell you why a woman working at a local retail store is now pursuing welding as a full-time career.
And who will be taking over as interim director of social services in the midst of an investigation for the Rockbridge Department.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating. Be the boss.
I'm the boss. What the? Power nap.
You were saying. And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
School bus drivers in Virginia may have to complete only 7 hours of instruction and training before earning their licenses, compared to the current 48-hour requirement. Why lower safety standards? State school leaders say it's about recruiting more drivers. Our reporter Rachel Hicks is live from Maury River Middle School to explain.
The Virginia Senate voted
Is live from Maury River Middle School to explain.
The Virginia Senate voted you by the House Committee on Education and Labor. State leaders are considering this drastic change to ease the shortage of drivers. Rockbridge County Schools Director of Transportation, Randy Walters, says low pay is the biggest reason behind the shortage.
Around our area, pay is about $13, $14 average, and other places, other jobs are beginning to pay more now, and just there's a huge amount of responsibility driving a school bus for that amount of money.
Some parents don't think lowering the requirements is a good solution to the current situation. Activities Director at the Mayflower, Cherry Collins, has a 16-year-old son who used to ride the bus to school.
Yes, I think that if you're going to drive the bus with our children, you need to have a minimum number of hours. 7 is not going to cut it. I live on a windy road that has more accidents than you expect on a Royal Road, and the bus can come around quite quickly.
Lexington Police Chief Sam Roman says the ultimate goal is to keep students safe no matter how many hours bus drivers train.
My hope is that obviously the experts in the field know what the appropriate training would be for an environment such as a school bus driver.
Walters says there are so few bus drivers that the existing ones have to double up routes.
Our biggest problem that we do face in transportation is driver shortage and the lack of substitute drivers that we have. But when we offer driver training classes, what we typically find is we'll have a pretty big number sign up initially to take the class, but very few follow through and actually finish it.
Rockbridge County Superintendent Philip Thompson said some bus drivers don't want their entire day taken up by early and late driving hours.
I'm here at Maury River Middle School. Rockbridge County Public Schools are looking into raising bus drivers' pay and getting athletic buses that will only require a commercial driver's license in order to be driven. I'm Rachel Hicks with the Rockbridge Report. Back to you.
In the 2016 presidential race, Florida Senator Marco Rubio said the country needs more welders and fewer philosophers. Local employers agree, saying there's a gap between supply and demand. Buena Vista's Byers Technical Institute is addressing the shortage by training the next generation of welders. Emma Durr has the story.
Byers Technical Institute Director Walt Johnson estimates that Alltech Industries in Daleyville, Virginia, could hire 13 welders immediately. Innovative Refrigeration Systems in Lyndhurst needs 15. He said shipyards in Norfolk and Hampton want to hire as many as they can.
As a matter of fact, the shipyard said that there wasn't enough trade schools in the country to supply them with the amount of welders they would need.
But the jobs can't be filled because there's a shortage of people who know how to weld.
The last letter I got, the United States is 400,000 welders short. That's a lot of welders.
Earlier this month, Byers Technical Institute received a $200,000 grant from a statewide initiative called Growth and Opportunity Virginia to expand its program. Johnson says at least part of the grant will go towards hiring another instructor. Heavy industrial contractor Byers Incorporated founded the welding school last August to train craftsmen in Rockbridge County.
If someone starts BTI that has no experience whatsoever in welding, in 13 weeks, we can have them trained.
Nicole Wallace is the first female student at BTI. She gave up her job at the dollar store to pursue welding because she wanted to start a career.
I was looking for something that wasn't just going to be a consistent dead-end job where I could, kind of expand my horizon and also, of course, to make better money for me and my family.
Johnson says the school will help Buena Vista's economy in the long run. With a more qualified workforce, Buena Vista will be better able to attract companies to relocate. Byers Incorporated Vice President of Operations says Rockbridge County residents who attend the welding school will benefit too.
Sooner or later, in my prediction, those crafts will outpay most of your college courses with the exception of lawyer's doctorate. But to graduate out of an 11-month program and go to making $70,000 to $130,000 a year, because the sky's the limit.
The success of BTI was noticed in other areas. Last week, Byers Incorporated received a grant for $500,000 to open another welding school in Alabama. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Emma Durr.
In the next few months, Johnson said BTI will be expanding its enrollment from 15 students to 34.
The Rockbridge Area Habitat for Humanity will build 12 new low-income homes after receiving approval from the Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors. This approval followed a grant to pay for project infrastructure from the Department of Housing and Community Development. The new structure will set a foundation for 8 additional houses to be built in Greenhouse Village. Families who are unable to attain a mortgage otherwise can now apply through Habitat for Humanity. This is under Phase 2 of the Greenhouse Village Housing Production Project, which will conclude in 2021. Coming up, we'll tell you how the local rock scavenger hunt now attracts thousands of community members.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand!
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Zane!
Cute. It's tournament time in basketball, and other sports are launching their seasons now. Keenan Willard is here with the update.
Thanks, Faith. WNL's men's track and field won their second straight indoor ODAC championship on Sunday. 5 athletes won individual conference titles at the championship meet, and this was the Generals' first time winning back-to-back indoor championships since the team won 3 straight from 1987 to 1989. WNL's women's track and field team won 2 individual championships at that meet, on their way to a 5th-place finish. Men's tennis started their season with a bang yesterday, defeating Randolph-Macon 9-0 in Lexington. The 30th-ranked Generals swept the doubles matches and lost only 8 singles games in the shutout. The baseball team lost at home to Ferrum 17-3 yesterday to move to 5-5 for the year. They'll look to bounce back with a doubleheader at home this Saturday against Penn State Harrisburg. In other college sports news from around the area, Southern Virginia University's baseball team defeated 16th-ranked Roanoke College on Tuesday to pick up their 5th straight win. The team is now 6-3 on the season and returns to action on Friday afternoon with an away contest against Emory and Henry. SVU's 8th-ranked men's volleyball team lost their first home match in program history yesterday, falling to number 14 Eastern Mennonite 3-2. They'll hit the road next to play Cairn University on Friday. In high school sports news, Rockbridge County High School's spring sports season begins tomorrow as baseball, boys tennis, and girls soccer all have away games against Amherst County High School. That's it for the sports update. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Keenan. What started with one boy finding a painted rock at his preschool grew into an almost 6,000-member Facebook community group in Rockbridge County. Hannah Denham will show us how locals of all ages are getting involved in this quest for hidden rocks.
Rockbridge area residents are giving new meaning to the county's name. A year ago, Jennifer Hopkins of Buena Vista started Rockbridge Rocks after her son found a painted rock at his preschool. Now, local residents can participate in the group by painting their own rocks, hiding them across the area, and posting a picture of their general location to the group's Facebook page. After that, the person who discovers the rock should then hide them in a new location, continuing the cycle. Buena Vista resident Michelle Connor is one of the Facebook page's almost 5,800 members. She sees Rockbridge Rocks as a positive way for kids to connect with the community.
Our children are learning not only the priceless gift of art, but teamwork and working together, getting outside, exercise.
The group's rocks have even been spotted hundreds of miles away, after travelers find the rocks and hide them across state lines. Perry McClure High School freshman Destiny McDaniel and 11-year-old BJ Wade have witnessed that firsthand.
Ones went to Virginia Beach, ones went to Pennsylvania, and you'd see it on Facebook, and it would be pretty cool to see that they weren't in the state of Virginia anymore.
One of our rocks that our grandma painted went to Florida.
Some people also tape instructions on the back of their rocks after hiding them. That way, when kids like Kimberly Moore discover them, they can post an update to the Facebook page and track how far the rocks go.
I feel happy that I found them.
Connor says the group is also a great way to promote Rockbridge and show what the county has to offer.
I was in a conversation that really just broke my heart. Nothing good ever comes out of Rockbridge County anymore. It broke my heart because there's a lot of good that comes out of Rockbridge County. And I seen this group and I thought, wow, that is an awesome thing to do.
I don't want to give away the secret location of this rock I painted, but just know that you can find it somewhere on the campus of Washington and Lee. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Hannah Denham. Happy hunting!
That's it for this edition of the Rockbridge Report.
We will be back on Tuesday at 3:30 with our live news update. Until then, you can find out more coverage at our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Thanks for watching.